I've become perhaps a very easily identifiable kind of stage personality, and which today would be described as a brand. People are very brand conscious these days. I went to Leeds University and I was exposed to the development of kind of pop and rock and roll music in Britain at that time, in the early 70s. And I saw people like David Bowie. I was very much a fan of Charlie Chaplin and Buster Keaton's work. I suppose subconsciously I absorbed this idea of, when you think Charlie Chaplin, there's certain things you think about, his cane, the kind of shoes he wore, the little bowler hat and so on. I was fascinated by the world of performers and the theatricality of that. The work that I was doing was trying to create a South African identity for myself. So I started to explore my own background through my songs. And my brother is a painter, an artist. And he was at university at that time. He's 5 years older than me, and he was starting to look at the world around him, because the lecturers at Michaelis Art School were saying, you must stop painting like the Americans. Stop trying to paint the things you see in magazines. Look at the world that you find yourself in. Write about the town you come from, because the little town that I was trying to run away from, he was telling me, is just as interesting and as exciting as New York. And we were all focused on, with this colonial mindset that everything is wonderful and better and greater out there, not here. So going to Leeds University, I suddenly was exposed to out there. I quickly began to understand how different I was. I spoke English, but I wasn't an Englishman. And I played the same music, but I wasn't them. And suddenly I started to write things about, so who am I? So I started to look at myself. How am I dressing? And I didn't want to look like an American from California, but I did. I had long hair, I kind of looked like a post-hippie sort of, student. The way I'm dressing doesn't reflect what I'm singing. And so then I started to look at influences that I could use in my clothing. So I bought really big khaki pants, but to make them a caricature of farmers' khaki pants. So they were big and they got that Chaplin-esque thing. And I went to Diagonal Street in Johannesburg. I knew that the black fashion was Florsheim shoes, and I bought Florsheim shoes, and I had Argyle socks. This is in the 1970s. I was already wearing patterned socks. There were photographs of my uncle and my father from the 1930s, where they were wearing white shirts with rolled up sleeves. And I thought it was such a sort of South African thing from the past. And then I took a waistcoat from the railways. I had long hair, and I was in the bath one night, and the hair was wet, and I got up and I saw that my hair was all slicked back, and I looked in the mirror and I thought, my God, it looks like, like the 1930s. And so I went out and I cut my hair and I put Brill cream on it. Everyone laughed at me. But that was fine, I enjoyed that. I started to understand that when people spoke about me, they needed some simple idea. Oh, he's the guy with the middle parting in his hair. He's the guy with the bicycle. He's the guy with the red shoes. Was influenced like that. Was like, does this fit me? Is it iconic? That was branding, and I didn't know it then.